So immediately to start, timestamps will be available for DRAPLINE. It's usually bosses, so I'll put those as the timestamps, but also the video is going to be cut into parts. So if you want to see the unedited footage, it should be in the description below. It'll have the full, well, this recording and me talking, but also other parts that I've cut out because for the sake of time, yeah, DRAPLINE run can be long. Unless I just lose immediately, but then the length of the edited video, which you're probably watching, is not going to be as long, so there's no way to tell. But otherwise, let's start. So immediately the first timestamp is to go over the general advice. This is the general advice. I mean, this, again, the point of this series is to ask AI and basically ask it how we can survive. So, immediately just for coup, 80,000 HP, 6,000 plus res, 4,000 plus vitality. This is all paraphrased from the AI, but I promise you it's what it says. It's a real trust me bro moment. I can just show you which AI model I was using, but strength or intelligence, choose depending on the skills. It tends later on, it tends to advise physical skills, but ultimately it still says to choose either depending on skills. This is going to be counterintuitive to a point later on, but I'll get to that when we get there. And then agility is the lowest priority. We already have the defensive stats to work around. In fact, I was already kind of doing this, except that I like to go into strength or intelligence as well. And then Quinn is going to be our main NPC for the run. Martha and Morgie will be the second and third priority. Yes, I know it's Morgantiana. I'm trying to shorthand it. And then moving down to the skills and artifacts, heat compression, thermal. EX, again, I just kind of short names. I know what these are, Sponge Body, except that I don't know the names, so whoops. And then the Snow series, these help with basically shields, and usually just shields, but there are other things. So Shield Press, is that the name of the skill? Basically, deal damage based on shield. Revenge would also help out. I think Revenge was also touched in the update, in a recent update as well. And then anything that scales with our stats and heals us, that's what this is supposed to mean, except I did not type it well. But we do need to heal in some way or fashion. Items will be helpful. That's what part of our New Game Plus bonuses are. And then Aura Crash or other skills that strip buffs from bosses, because bosses do like to buff themselves, as the AI puts it. And then after that, multi-hit, or in my case, AoE skills that have low cooldown preferably, because when we fight Octania, we need to get rid of the tentacles, and we are planning to do so because that will ultimately help us out in the run overall. As for artifacts, that's Sun series for shields passively. The something defense unit, I forgot what it's called, but basically, hey, it's all for defense. And then the club if we go wild. I think I mentioned it earlier. Oh yeah, I didn't mention it earlier, but yeah, stick with it's 50-50 actually. Rule if you have high shields, otherwise just wild personality instead for basically crits and extra damage. Either one will work. I've seen both of them work for other players of DRAPLINE, but and then as for the run in general, yeah, raise the sin affinities, get high value food to start, and then don't overwork over affinity. So if I'm going to run out of energy, if Ku runs out of energy, that can be bad because there are turns in which you may want to pick critical options, whether it's just even fighting small monsters or just more Quinn in my case. And then poison for Octania, that's the base advice. We will stop to ask AI for advice. It will not be in the edited video, but we can get this run started. Yeah, we'll do our best. So when I said those stat thresholds at the very beginning with the AI's help, those are really just the bare minimum. So I really actually want more resilience and vitality than I said, but if I can't get it, so be it, right? Otherwise, I did not mean to grab that, but it's too late now, so... Otherwise, let's see. We're going to reroll once here. Medium damage, low accuracy, buff. Oh my god. Actually, we're going to reroll twice. This costs more because of the difficulty setting, but I think we're going to end up taking, yeah. So, Pre-Match Brawler is interesting. Did they change that name, by the way? Anyway, we're going to take Wind Veil instead, because we're not going to be using magic attacks, I guess. And we're going to grab our immediate artifact, question mark? Start of a boss battle, gain a nullification of the next debuff, which can be nice, but and no Quinn. Unfortunately, during no part of my training did I see any chance to get poison skills or passives and whatnot. So, I mean, just live with what I got, I guess. I'm sure you could do otherwise, but I had to do with what I've got. I had none of these, by the way. Otherwise, HP stat plus mitigation. I do have HP, and I have some kind of mitigation. It's mainly a lot of healing, and so otherwise we're just going to do our best. So, and just to kind of show you what's happening here, if I can take the notes off screen. These are skills. I promise you I didn't see a single poison skill. If I did, I probably would have taken it. Otherwise, we can take a look at what else we have. I took AoE skills in preparation of Octania, but if I don't get anything, then shrug, right? So we're not fighting AoE, so we might as well just take anything else. We do need our cooldowns to be low, though. This is kind of low. It's not as low as I want, but we have Punch for that reason. So, I've never actually fought this boss before, and here are our passives. So, just to go through them, hot-blooded headbutt. I always say that wrong. Magic res, extra BP after using breath, reward money, but that's outside of boss encounters, lower debuff durations, and plus 2 BP per turn because of the tail skills and passive that I've taken. And here are the items. Dragon fruit is always given to us, I think. And I bought one more ambrosia, and let's see, I think it was an artifact, right? Yeah, dragon plushie. We start with the dragon plushie, new game plus. Get thin ice immediately. That's what I got. More hot-blooded headbutt, metronome, and kaleidoscope. So, actually, because I have AoE increase in damage, it's not enough to put it on level with the same tier, but it is something to think about. Although we want shield instead. Do we want shield instead? I don't think it's actually worth it here. Yeah, it's not actually worth it here. So let's take just a small bash instead, because we're going to get our cooldowns increased, theoretically speaking. And off we go. So, I've never fought, so that's why the game didn't even skip the text there, because I have not fought this boss yet. Even though I did in my previous recording, I'll just tell you right now that, yeah, the progress, when the game crashes, bad things happen. So, without further ado, technically it's a bit of AoE. If there's 2 or more enemies, I just consider it an AoE encounter. Now that being said, is that AoE? It is AoE. So we'll do our best, but unfortunately, it may not be enough. So off we go. But yes, we can do our best to deal damage as much as possible. But boy, oh boy, is it really, really iffy. So if we can do bash, it would be nice. So yeah, okay, we have our rotation for this one. Why did it? I wonder why the AI recommended poison here. Well, either way. We are slowly taking damage, by the way, so a breath would be appreciated at some point. The counter's also putting in a lot of work, but hey, right? It's not an even turn, so we'll dancing chop next turn, because it always takes a turn to heal. If it acted immediately, by the way, so it is my dev brain working. So increases cooldown on all skills, currently on cooldown by 1. So hence why you gotta watch out for that. But then ice protects us, so hey, fun times ahead. So I think you do breath this turn based on what I saw there. Otherwise, I think I can survive this. So we're going to bash here, and then breath should take out Gao Gao again. Watch me actually die here. Okay, good. It's not like we have nowhere during the run. We did choose our bosses, so it should be Melty into Fracta into Dorothy. So, shrug. Now, that being said, if I did not get my counters out, that could have quickly went downhill. I could see how it could have quickly went downhill for me, but hey, procs happen and they're nice. Otherwise, as we move on to I always forget, I think it's Fracta. Let's see, but first and foremost, let's see. So curse, total damage taken, probably want to take that if I don't get any shield. Definitely not tailwind. And yeah, deals tiny magic damage, but that does scale off our intelligence, right? But anyway, we're taking curse here. Was it really in the jungle? Now I'm sad. I haven't been saving either, so if we don't end up fighting Octanya, I'm just gonna be sad. Oh, goodness. I swear it was over in the rocky area. Was it not? Well, garbage heap. That would be funny if she was past the garbage heap. That is pretty funny immersion-wise. But anyway. If we don't fight Octanya, it's not the worst thing, but it really is a help. So, for the second boss here, we would like shield penetration just for the complete counter, but we don't have that. So otherwise, poison is our next best bet, because it's really all we're going to be able to do while we're dealing with, you know, either self-heals, shields, or whatnot. And in fact, self-healing or stripping buffs from the boss, or making sure we don't get debuffed. I'm pretty sure this boss debuffs us, would be nice. But otherwise, as we move back to the game, yeah, we're going to do our best. So, let's see here. We do have Curse. We probably don't need to crit that often. Don't need any AoE, and Poison Claw. So, without further ado, not really much else to look at. We have a lot of healing items, but I would prefer not to use them if possible. Otherwise, yeah, I guess we'll try. So, I think I've beaten Fracta before, but if nothing else, I remember having to burst through shields, which is pretty painful, but hey. We can let's just immediately try to apply poison. That does break through shields, so technically poison resist, or poison penetration, but Yeah, whether or not we can withstand things, because, yeah, we definitely don't have a lot of resistance or vitality, so we gotta do our best. We might as well curse here, even though we gotta wait 10 turns. It's gonna be 10 turns of a lot of pain. We missed, by the way. Goodness, and we'll just... yeah, we'll just... I didn't mean to defend there. No! We'll just do our best. Again. Would like to stack poisons, that would be helpful, but if we don't, because we keep missing, then so be it, right? Let me just make sure. Shield, 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 so we're just missing, by the way. Unless there was an immediate evasion effect that was taking place, but hey. Ow! Maybe I should have just defended. Do we get to do anything else? Yeah, substitution I think is the one where you just miss off your face. Are we getting our shields penetrated as well? It feels like it, but I can't tell for sure. So we have no more thingy-majiggies. Might as well Dragon Breath. Never mind. And we missed. So, hey. Would have liked to use our breath. We do need to apply poison, but I don't think we're going to get to. And we do get, because we don't have Noir, we can just eat a death in the face, but, yeah. Value passes shield, that's why it was. So, we do need to Poison Claw. This shouldn't kill, right? Yeah, it shouldn't. We just left too much shield on Fracta, and so she just slapped us with the shield value. But, I guess we throw out a punch just so that we get this evasion out of the way. But right after that, it is a battle of attrition. So, thankfully we disobeyed into a shield, but we need to make sure that, yeah, we are actually dealing damage to the shield. Otherwise, we're just taking a bunch of damage in the face, and that wouldn't be nice at all. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, then ice on self so no debuffs, in a sense. But if we apply debuffs and strip it and apply poison immediately, it's not so bad. The problem is we actually need to deal the damage, and in fact, we need to get rid of the substitution before we plan to go for the curse. Don't hurt me. Okay, good. Curse. Should be able to hit this, right? Nothing really strange happening. We're gonna get hit by a breath, but I think we just tank this. Yeah, we just tank this with the power of some healing item. We should be current shield to self equal to current HP. I don't want to let that go, but we have to, because otherwise we're not gonna... Oh, never mind. Well, here's hoping we tank this blow, and that is one of the disadvantages to having a wild coup. But we can breath back. We might as well breath back. Actually, if we're going last, we should have breath next turn, because we're not certain that we're going to be able to heal. So, fortunately, the boss is buffing, so we can afford to do a thing. Now, we're going to take it in the face if it's the shield attack, but if it's not, hey, fun times. Substitution, by the way. But we have to do something. Try to deal damage. And that's a lot of HP. In fact, we can't even tank that, so we just do whatever we can. In fact, we apply shields, because even though we get hit here, we can apply shields afterward and have more effective HP. Oh, the damage, though. Substitution, get rid of that. Poison Claw. That's a lot of shield. We have to break this shield, by the way. If we don't, we're just going to get slapped really hard again next time. Are we able to survive? No, not. So, I think we just eat in the face here. That's unfortunate. Ow! We keep the dragon plushie, but we only have a limited amount of, retries here, so... let's see here. I think I do want to keep Curse. The shield does nothing for us, so we'll just take something else. Medium damage. I think we have enough small cooldowns to rotate. So we're just going to grab all attack here. And off we go. But, as we sit here and hope for the best, I think we just immediately throw out a Dancing Chop. Just so we can deal as much damage as possible. And that way we can... Yeah, so we're not going to take any damage from Icefall, or we shouldn't. And we can apply Poison, and if whenever there's a substitution, we can throw out Rhythmic Punch, because I think I still get the crit bonus from this, right? Yeah, I do. So we might as well throw that out during substitution turns, and then we can just feel a lot better about ourselves. That being said, we didn't take any damage, so we don't get to do much, but We have another turn to sit here, so shrug. Because we want to be able to do extra damage. Yeah, this is probably the better option. The AI was not really lying to us, because if we had kept applying poison, I'm sure we would have bursted the boss down, but sure would have been nice to have extra damage on top to get rid of the shields. Shield penetration is not what you want, because the boss slaps you with shield, so yeah, substitution, get rid of that. Metronome, but no point, because yeah, actually there's a point. This is the point. So we do this. I think it's just guaranteed crit, right? Yeah. Still, it's damage we can deal, so yeah, but yeah, we can't do anything unfortunately this turn. Don't slap me with the shield, please. Would be nice to not be slapped by a shield. We are getting slapped by shield, so we might as well actually apply poison instead. And then breath next turn. So, yeah, breath this turn. Because the next turn is Rhythmatic Punch. You can't dodge this, can you? You can! Hey! I didn't know that. I thought you couldn't for some whatever reason. Anywho, still want to do Rhythmatic Punch. Preferably no substitution next turn? Question mark? Yeah, and so we can Dancing Chop for damage. The problem is what happens when we get to the breath, but I guess we'll deal with it when the time comes. So, Poison Claw, because we take damage, but we will also be dealing damage. And if the breath is coming out, then we need to heal, but then we also need to immediately deal damage if possible. It's not going to be possible, because we can't do Dancing Chop on an even turn without doing a little damage, but do you actually do a shield attack next turn? I was about to say recoil. Rhythmatic Punch. Actually, I could have cursed there. Yeah, I should have cursed there. I made a mistake. We can still curse. That should remove most of the shield. It's still not going to be enough, but it'll be enough for it to matter here. So, Poison Claw, apply poison, take a bunch of damage here, that's fine. Substitution. So, funny enough, we use Dancing Chop. Never mind. Okay, we do use Dancing Chop, but this turn we definitely do Breath, and then we heal again, preferably. Unless we're slower. No, yeah. Even if you did a thing, it's not going to be enough damage. So, how greedy do I want to be is the question. The only damage coming out is from the shield. So if we knock it down enough, we should be okay. Even with Snow Cloud giving the boss Ice Shield. Unfortunately, we have to Poison Claw this turn. If there's a substitution, we heal. Yeah, we heal. So, let's Dragon Fruit, I guess. I didn't want to use a small one and risk dying. So, yeah. So you're probably going to give yourself a shield, right? No? Alright. We need to use Rhythmatic Punch, so guess we'll just drink Dragon Milk as well. Note that I'm saving the stronger healing items for basically a later moment. So, yeah, we need to get rid of this substitution there. If it does substitution again, so be it. Otherwise, we just take this in the face and Poison Claw instead. If there's a substitution this turn, so be it. I promise you the damage that we're dealing... Yeah, so the damage we're dealing from Dancing Chop isn't going to be enough. So we're probably looking for either a Dancing Chop into Breath or a small attack into Dancing Chop into Breath. But we'll see, because we're about to take a bunch of damage, so if I don't... Yeah, I think what we're going to do is Dancing Chop into Curse. Yeah, into Curse. Thank goodness that these skills exist, otherwise I'd be in so much trouble. Do you Breath this turn? No, so we can just do whatever we want. So, we'll do a Dragon Breath of our own. Yeah. And off we go. My retries! But yeah, we'll also, the timestamp should also, and the included edited video should also include these rewards, just so you see what I take. But it's not like I'm some amazing player, I'm just doing what I can do. So looking for poison, preferably this. Otherwise, look for anything else. No, Poison Touch. Yeah, so Poison, Revenge, in this case Curse, but I feel like there's another skill called Revenge, unless its name was changed to Curse, but I'm shrugging in real life as I say that. Anyway, you get the point. We're trying to scale our HP and do a lot of damage. But yeah, Dorothy here. So, pretty much be a full tank, 80,000 HP minimum, though you probably want 100,000, 120,000 preferred, and then 150,000 is what the AI can guess you can reach. And then resistance, vitality, again, these are primarily minimum values. I think I have like 7,000, 8,000 of each of these. But if you don't have that much, then 5,000 should allow you to survive, from what I've seen. And then any kind of heavy attacks, which in this case would be HP scaling. Indirectly, HP scaling are things like Curse and Revenge, and there's a shield press, but I don't have big shields. Next on the list is resisting status effects. I do have that. I don't have as much cleanse, and I do have a lot of healing, but I think Dorothy inflicts you with reverse healing at times. And then use items if you need be. This is pretty much the time to use them. So, as we actually move back to, and I remove the notes. We're switching. Yeah, we switch. So Snow Cloud, right? Let's see how much this actually works. Dragon Calluses for a breath when we're taking a breath turn. Healing, and then I think we just leave Curse on us. Yeah, and funny enough, we can't take anything else. So we'll see how much the passive shield gives us. And then just to go over the passives here, just really quickly, in case you want to stop and look. That was enough time for each of them. It should be like 2 or 3 seconds for each. I'm just using my, speed run advice. But yeah, as you can see here, a lot of healing effects, a lot of defensive effects, but then I took like physical attack power here and there because I have an accuracy increasing effect at some point. And then debuffs are even decreased by 1 turn on Ku at the moment. But otherwise, as you can see here, yeah, so these synergies also increase your stats. I completely forgot about those at times, but I only noticed it because I saw my resistance was at like 7,800 and then it shot up over 8,000. But anyway, off we go. But, yeah, as for Dorothy here, I completely forgot. I know Dorothy keeps you locked with debuffs here and there. I think she also heals herself at some point. But, yeah, so she drops our max HP, but we have a lot of max HP, so I don't really mind as much. That being said, yeah, just prepare Snow Cloud. Basically, you want to be hit really hard. I think she poisoned us as well, right? No? Oh, she increases her own evasion. Well, interesting. I could have just Flames immediately. In fact, I think that Thin Ice, yeah, Thin Ice blocked the max HP down, so yeah. Anywho. Medium damage. I should be able to curse you right after, right? Am I going crazy? Maybe I should have kept poison on me, because I have poison effects as well, but wow, that wasn't a lot of damage at all. I guess I did need poison. Don't you have anything that remove? No, you just have evasion, which is a form of a debuff defense, but yeah. So, I guess we just stand here. We're just going to be standing here for a long time. She's slowly dealing damage to us, but if we can just hit her really hard with Curse, then it's not so bad. Now, we are getting max HP down at times, but it's not so bad. So, let's see. Actually, she failed to land it as well, because again, we do have debuff resistance in general. But we don't have any other form of attack. Yeah, maybe I should have taken out... Snow Cloud for Poison Claw or something. Probably Poison Claw, but... Dragon Callus. Well, might as well Dragon Calluses. It comes back quickly enough. Yeah, and so our offensive passives here... So we did get inverted healing. And that will keep on us until we actually use healing. So that's... interesting to note. But as long as we keep Snow Cloud on us, actually this shield is just going to keep increasing, so it's not so bad. Max HP can go down twice, so I'm guessing we're at 50,000 HP after the 2 uses, which is why 80,000 HP is probably the lowest you even want to be. Probably even less, but the funny part about this is I can use Flames of Adversity, but it's 10 turns anyway, so I won't get it back unless I use an item. So what we're going to do instead... Never mind, I lied. I guess we just sit here and just slowly deal damage with breath. Although Dorothy's healing HP as well. So that's kind of the problem here. And there's no... Is there a forfeit option? No, there's not. Well. I guess we stand here. I will slowly just deteriorate. But... yeah, that's something to think about. And we do have thorns on us, so... theoretically speaking, we will be the ones who lose first. Huh. I mean, I guess the big part of this is if we had an attack that deals damage based on shield, we would have actually been dealing damage at this point. But we never got any of those skills. And if we did, then I missed them. But, shrug, right? So, yeah, we actually want to wait for a big damage turn before we use Curse, because otherwise Dorothy's just going to heal. Because the point of doing that, as opposed to just using Curse whenever we have it, in my opinion, is that we deal enough damage so that Dorothy does Breath, and then we have another big damage Curse already loaded up for the next, when it's possible again. Shrug, that's all I have to say at the moment. So at this point, I think what we have to do is use the, remove all debuffs from ourselves, and then proceed to heal ourselves. So, Molting Accelerator so we can heal again. Unless that, I was about to say, if that inflicted inverse, if I wasn't paying attention and we got inverted healing, I would have been quite sad. But, we get our BP back, heals HP, but then we deal damage. Is that going to be enough? No, it's not. We actually need to sit here for longer. Well, hey. Time for another snow cloud. Like, she's not breaking through our shield, so we have all the time in the world. And yes, a shield damage, a skill that deals damage proportional to shield would have been very helpful here to pair with Curse. We wouldn't have needed Dragon Calluses for this purpose then. But yeah, not really much else to say at the moment. We just sit here. We can't even wait. We just sit here. I was gonna say a thing, but it wouldn't have been. I don't think it's would have been true. So, anywho, yeah, we literally just sit here until we can do a big Curse turn. So, yeah, that being said, it is still much appreciated that there is no Enrage. Literally no big, hard Enrage. There are Enrages with Noir, technically, but you have methods against it. You have like 3 different strategies at minimum. One of them just being bursting her down, the second bringing a Dragon Plushie, and the third, I'm sure it's something else. So, a different kind of offense, but you get the point. As opposed to, say, when you hit turn 100, the battle ends or something weird like that. But anywho, we might as well throw Dragon Calluses on ourselves while we're sitting here. The only problem is that when we decide to heal ourselves finally, it is going to be a bit of a problem. So, yeah, we just sit here and just wait for a huge turn. Does this hurt me through the shields? If it does, then I do want to use it when we get flames back. But I guess we'll find out, right? Total damage taken. Does that include damage to myself? Anywho. Yeah, we'll just sit. We'll just sit here for the moment. Oh my goodness, my heart. We do have hot-blooded headbutt, but we're not proccing it enough for it to matter, which is the primary concern. I think, yeah, thorns is, or sorry, we do have poison. Never mind. I was like, what's going through the shield? It's poison. We won't get flames back before we have to heal, but that does allow us to use Ambrosia, so I'm gonna use this and see what happens. Okay, it Dragon Plushies us, but yeah, I mean, we don't have any other recourse here. We could just lose the battle at this point. If we're finding that we're not dealing enough damage, then I guess I will just eventually do a thing. In fact, the inverted healing counts as damage dealt to myself, so interesting to note that. So we should be able to... Oh, you breath first? Or do we do Dragon... Or does Dragon Calluses happen after? No, it happens before! You can be slow enough to be slower than breath? Wow, I didn't know that. Because... Yeah, because I think when we do breath... Never mind, it lied, right? Yeah, it's just a very slow action then. Huh, okay. I was going to say something, but I don't know if it's true. So... yeah, we need... It's gonna be breath into curse, I think. That's the turn we need, because the boss is gonna continue healing. We also need to hit, by the way, because the boss is throwing evasion on herself. So this is going to be an interesting next 7-ish turns. So we're gonna try to survive. We do need to breath, if for no other reason than just to try to deal damage, but yeah, not really much else to say at the moment. We're going to see how much damage we can do, but... yeah, this is really interesting. So, we already have Dragon Callus. The boss has not hit us once, by the way, directly. And the fact that he used a Dragon Plushie meant that this strategy really doesn't work. I mean, it's a strategy to basically take all the damage and recover, but that's not what I would particularly want to do. So, I actually should have, yeah, I should have done a thing on myself. It might be too late now. I'm gonna do it. If we get to Ambrosia, that would be nice. Never mind, that kills us. So, this time, we will... If Future Jordan makes a cut here, it's because I used a lot of my retries. But, without further ado, we do what we can immediately. I probably should have actually just poisoned immediately, but if we can poison here... I swear I have a poison passive, but maybe I don't. And our only healing will be the molting... Yeah, molting plus ambrosia, because if and when we get affected with inverse healing, we can't do much about it. And in fact, I can treat it as if my HP is going to drop anyway, because yeah, my max HP is going to drop anyway, so shrug. Unfortunately, we cannot... I was going to say something, I forgot. I was focusing on what my next skill was going to be, but the rotation seems to be Rhythmic Punch, Poison Claw, into a Chop. Because we want to make sure that we chop on odd turns. Even with Metronome, it probably won't be enough. So, yeah. And this is already looking better. So, pretty much opposite of the AI. Unless I ask it, hey, what do I do when I'm failing? It'll probably just say do physical attacks. But, anywho. Dragon Breath. Watch me miss. Never mind. And hope for the best. We do have inverted healing, so... Look for a thing first. We can just wait for the Dragon Plushie and let that run out, but I would like to not use the Dragon Plushie so I have an effective retry against the final boss. Shrug! And yeah, with Destruction stripping away at Thin Ice, that is nice. Ow! So yeah, if I want to try and avoid getting oofed by the thingy-majiggy, hopefully this doesn't kill me. Otherwise I would have wasted the Molting Accelerator. It did not. And if I can heal in time, which I should be able to, I will not use the Dragon Plushie. So I traded off Ambrosia and the Molting Accelerant for the Dragon Plushie, pretty much. So the advantage is that if I have low HP, I can just tank like 200,000 damage. The bad news is, if I needed extra healing items, then it would have been nice to keep those. But, hey... So we want to hit here. We did not. We did not crit, sorry. Which means I have to strip the Thin Ice with Poison Claw instead, which makes me even sadder. Actually, we did reapply it, because I think... Does the second reapply go through Thin Ice? Because I removed Thin Ice, and then the second Poison procs. If that's a thing, that is interesting. But anywho. So we have Curse as an ace in the hole, assuming we hit. Which would be nice. But otherwise... Curse gets us really close. We can Dancing Chop first, though. And now we Curse. Hey! Shh, don't cry. It'll be over soon. If I hit. Close enough. Please, watch me miss like 3 times in a row and die because of it. That would be so sad. Oh, there's the first miss, by the way. We do have poison, but I promise you, this can quickly start spiraling down. Oh my goodness! Am I gonna miss 3 times in a row? Note that if any of those previous... Actually, I think I needed to hit both, but still. The point is that this is taking longer than it should. If it wasn't already taking longer with the past retries I did. But, anywho. Yeah, because I thought Poison always does a percentage of your current HP, which is why it can't defeat a boss. But, anywho. Oh, stall tactics. Anywho, they can work. It's just I was not well prepared for them. So now that we're fighting the last boss, nullifies next boss. Huge damage. I think. Well, I'm sure the last boss buffs herself, but still, little wild. I think it's a little. It's not enough wild, but. This is our last chance. So what did I say? Poison Claw. So let me actually just move things around. Poison Claw. Body Bullet. Monster Bite Plus. And Curse. I think those are the things I want to use. Now note that I didn't get a single shield here. So that's... Maybe I want to take Flames instead. But then I'd have to get rid of something. Maybe Curse? Maybe I don't want to just sit here and do stuff? I'm gonna take Flames. That's It's because I don't have any other healing items that I'm a little scared. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. So, we're going to go outside, and hopefully we win here. If we don't, that's not great. I need to actually get to level 8. Days of Tornado. So yeah, we went Poison, we went Attack based on Vitality. I think we went... Nope. We did Deny Buffs, and then Healing. So I think I actually just want to immediately deny. I don't think we're fast enough to stop that. So unfortunately, we just take this in the face. But we can now proceed to do other stuff. So we're going to Poison first, because that'll get us more value, theoretically speaking. And otherwise, my agility is already low. Joke's on you. But otherwise, we always sit here. Increase cooldown of all skills currently on cooldown. Hey, what an attack. I don't think I've seen that before. Also, that was probably not worth it. We did actually want shields. 12,000 damage. I thought we were going to do like 30,000 at least. Well, we sit here. We sit here. We can also throw poison, I guess. So poison level 2. That'll help us deal more damage. That's actually a lot of damage. Remove all negative effects. Does this? I wonder if I'm slow enough for this to happen after molting. No, it's not! I lied to myself! Well. Flames is not going to proc twice yet. We want it to proc twice. So, yeah. Monster Bite. Ow! That hurts, Koo! We get crits. Unfortunately, I don't think I get to do much more, because if I... Oh, well... Ignoring commands. Please do flames then? Okay, good. That was a waste. That's a waste of VP, but if there was something that was going to happen there, it would have been that. Ow! Stop hurting me. Yeah, Curse here would have definitely pushed a little fast, so that would not have been great. Acid Wound, by the way. What buffs would I have given myself? Probably nothing, right? I'm not buffing myself at the moment, so... Shrug. Move all positive effects. We definitely want to brace here. Block here. My goodness, that's another term from another game. But you get the point. Defend. My eyes. We also need to heal. But first things first, get our attacks on cooldown. Are we gonna make it in time? Are we gonna die before anything happens? Well. I know we have Dragon Plushie, but I promise you, I don't want to rely on that, especially when we're only halfway through. So, Monster Bite again. I don't think you're buffing yourself. Was I lied to? Well, either way. I am applying poison, by the way. Starfall, and that's really painful. Hopefully we can take this at least. Yeah, so that's your soft enrage, by the way, Starfall. Because as it just said, or if you missed it, it deals more damage based on the number of turns passed. So the longer the battle, the more damage. Remove all negative effects, but I'm going to Dragon Breath you. Never mind. We're going to ignore. At least we apply poison after molting, but yeah, that was not great. If you Starfall, we just have to go all out. Like, we're going to die even if we defend, so we might as well go out dealing damage. I think we still get to act after Starfall. It's going to be coming at some point. Here's the other breath attack, by the way. I think we can take this attack. Breath is not normally the issue. Oh, preparing breath. I am going crazy. That might have lost me this battle. There's the Dragon Plushie. Here comes the Starfall. Help! No! Magical attacks on even turns. We have to defend. Okay. It wasn't as lot. It's not as much damage as it looks because we have high resilience, high defense, but we don't. No reason to take more damage, even if we have flames available. Celestial Robe, so be it. Poison Claw to reapply poison. You're gonna molting at some point, which is good for me because that gives me a turn to attack. In fact, into a breath that debuffs you once more. It's a sad day when, well, I mean, no, it's not. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. So, and it's not always true. Oh my goodness, unsettled, by the way. It's not always, the battle's not over yet, by the way. If bad things happen, bad things are gonna happen. But otherwise, This is a little iffy. Don't starfall me. Don't starfall me. Do I defend here? I think I do. Wasn't fast enough anyway. No! I think that was because if starfall is physical, it's because I had decreased vitality, which... yeah, I'm trying to think. I think we had flames available, right? Yeah, if we had flames available, because I think Ku decided to disobey orders. And so, if she disobeyed into flames, that would have been nice. Unfortunately, that's not what happened, so... oh, goodness. It wasn't a bad idea to try and stall. And I had other skills I could have used, it's just that I ended up using a lot of, retries on Dorothy because I decided to try and do big stall and that did not work. So yeah, without further, I mean, it could work. It's just I did not have and or use the skills required. And eventually I did defeat her, but it wasn't because I was trying to stall. It was literally because I just went all out with yes, with a lot of HP, but yeah, you know what the deal. So yeah, without further ado, if I do play DRAPLINE again, it won't be as part of this series, but I'll probably play it on my own, especially before actual 1.0 whole game comes out and we can complete the story. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say. If you have anything to say yourself, you know what to do. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!